There are probably experiences that can be categorized as the reasons we choose to be here. First kiss. Napping together naked after a day in the hot springs. Our drunken walk in the moonlight on the beach in South Carolina. The whole family lying under the stars at Lake Powell, laughing hysterically as I did comedy. And my dad playing Prelude No. 5 at my sister's wedding. These moments are like fingerprints, specific and unique, but absolutely common to every one of us. And that dichotomy presents a challenge when talking about moments like the last scene in Wild at Heart. We feel it as a fire in our chests, because over the course of 4 seasons, we've come to know these characters as family, as friends, and as ourselves. And without that earned empathy, the dichotomy can render those moments cliche, as with so many pop songs on the radio, or romantic comedies with characters that were carved with a hammer and chisel. Wild at Heart brings something up for me that I have probably been ignoring. You see, I've been single now for a long time, and not particularly suffering over it either. I work, I spend time with my friends, I create things I find meaningful. This channel is very much a part of that. But life, articulated, falls somewhere on a spectrum, between pull tab to open and poetry. And when I consider my list of meaningful moments, I can't help but notice that all of them were shared with other people. Life is just more rich with love and intimacy. Which leads me to the question, how did I get here? Well, I think there are a few parts. The first is, I have become too adept at managing my own loneliness. Loneliness is confusing. I've spent contented years single, and I've been on the couch next to a woman I loved deeply, and felt like she was a million miles away. When I was younger, loneliness felt like a disease, an ailment in need of a cure. And what would follow when I realized I'd been infected was a barely contained and rarely successful frenzy for the antidote. But I think loneliness is actually biology and a part of the human experience. We're social animals. We're built to desire connection, as we are built to desire food. We get lonely like we get hungry. The big difference is no one ever sits around wondering why a cheeseburger doesn't love them. Am I just not good enough to have the cheeseburger? Will the cheeseburger always find someone better than me? Does the cheeseburger not think I'm handsome enough? See, if you don't ask the questions, you never have to start making up the wrong answers. At best, I give my loneliness an indifferent nod, and then I go and take a nap. Sometimes, though, I do feel the weight of my own expectations. Maybe I shouldn't be single. Shouldn't. Those words can be so poisonous. And then I fire up a dating website. But I can never seem to muster the necessary ambition or hope. I see the whole arc, not the next moment. I don't look at a woman's dating profile and think to myself, oh, she looks like someone I could go and have a cup of coffee and a conversation with. I look at it and think, she looks nice, and I'll bet we could have a couple of great years together, and maybe a couple of tough ones, followed by one really painful one where we try and keep everything going, followed by total collapse, and then a rebuilding period where I try and put the pieces back together. I know, you don't have to say it. I know this is a defense mechanism, an error in perspective caused by memory. In college, I used to smoke a pack a day, and in trying to quit, discovered an unfortunate phenomena. I would quit and fail, and quit and fail, and the longer things went on, the more I felt like I was never going to be able to quit. Maybe I was just a smoker. With every relapse, I was writing a story, and building a case against myself, until one day, I stopped for good, and that story just fell away. Memory is a story I tell myself, not quite as nonfiction as I'd like to believe, really more inspired by true events. But I don't long for what's gone. I have loved as deeply as I could. I have suffered in its loss, and I have done the work, and I hope that I am a better man today than I was. But the truth is that the only thing I can know for certain is that right now, I'm sitting here typing these words into a laptop, soon to be reading them into a microphone, and you are sitting here listening. The rest is a story, with only some basis in reality. My favorite form of art is art that reflects life, and there's a line from the movie Her that always comes back to me. 2 characters are speaking, and one says to the other, "You know what? I can overthink everything and find a million ways to doubt myself. And since I've been alone, I've really been thinking about that part of myself, and I've just come to realize we're only here briefly. And while I'm here, I want to allow myself joy." So fuck it.
Canapé.